So this is a Toyota mr2 1986. I am redoing the gears for the window motor and the regulator. I already have all of that paneling taken off. I actually have the window paneling assembly with the tracks already removed. I initially just replaced the gear, and that kept breaking on me. On some figuring out that if this, after replacing this, if this gear keeps breaking, you likely have a bad tooth in the regulator gear, which I did. I couldn't find any information on this, so hopefully this helps someone. To take the regulator gear off and replace it without getting a whole new assembly, because I wasn't able to find anywhere to get a new assembly, you're going to need to grind down or drill out these rivets. And then you can just pry it off. Of course, be careful of that. It's the cap which sits on top of the regulator, and it's tightly wound. And if you're not prepared for it, it'll come off and hit you. So you'll end up removing this, prying off the two tabs. That spring is going to come out. If you can keep it wound up, good for you. You're going to have to grind these down and pop this off. Then you can get to replacing this gear. I'm working on, there's a couple files, 3D print files out there if you want to print them yourself. I tried printing this out of PETG. I just kind of was doing some finger strength tests before I even had this off to see how well it was going to work. And I'm going to use a higher infill on this, make this just completely solid. But the reports I've heard is if these are replaced, you grease up. Of course, I'm going to go through and re-grease all of this, clean it out. Oh, see you later, buddy. Once you have all this cleaned up and parts are moving as they should, a lot easier with resistance, you shouldn't have any problems breaking these. Because it's a pain in the ass to get this out, I'll tell you that. I had to have two people, so myself and one other person, help remove these door stops. These felt tip door stops that were preventing the glass from coming all the way up. But in the end, I didn't actually end up taking the glass out. I was able to set it down and wiggle out the window assemblies from there. Hopefully this helps someone. I was at a little bit of a loss because I couldn't get any clear direction on actually redoing the gear on this. It seems like everyone, when they got to that point of taking this out, they just ordered a new one or got lucky and found one at their local Toyota dealership. I don't know, in 2026, I'm not finding any of these new. I was able to find some new in Japan. I didn't want to pay 180 bucks a piece, one for each door. That side's going to need it too. Didn't want to do that, so I was like, hey, I have this here. I need to try and rebuild it. Worst comes to worst, I'll order one from Japan, see how it gets. But that's not going to be a big option as the years go on. So drilling out these little rivets, I just used a pry bar. I actually drilled this to my workbench, so I was able to, once I had those out, just pop that right off. And here we go. Hopefully it helped.